What's up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino, and look, um, wanted to talk to y'all about a couple of things. One very important thing. Um, as we know, in the midst of this coronavirus situation that the world is going through, but to break it down to the microcosm of the United States, where where I live and many others live, of course. Um, some of the things that are being discussed as it relates to the COVID-19 situation. And one of the things that's starting to really circulate this week is the discussion about reopening up the country and starting to reopen certain businesses up, um, even though this virus has not subsided to a point where it would be ruled safe to do that. Now, anybody who got a half a brain would totally understand the reason why they're considering this, and in some cases have already started to do this. Is simply because the fact that the economy is suffering and needs that boost. There's been very little money circulating since this has been going on for the last couple of months. And quite frankly, the American economy is suffering because of it. So now, out of desperation to get some money, they are willing to um, put more people's lives at risk by saying we're going to open up the country again. People who put more value on life, on money than they do life, won't have a problem with this. But those of us who can have the understanding that health is wealth. Y'all heard that old saying before, health is wealth. And you can have billions of dollars if you are not physically well, mentally well, spiritually well, then those billions of dollars won't be of any benefit to you. I don't know how much money Steve Jobs had when he passed away, but like many other rich people, no matter what that amount is, it's not enough to bargain your way into some extra time. When that time comes, it's a wrap. So, my point to say in saying all this is that when they reach the point where they start saying, okay, the restaurants are open again, certain businesses are open again, the gyms are open again, it would be wise to still fall back and to stay back. I know everybody's tired, frustrated, tired of being cooped up. I read somewhere where the divorce numbers are up. I don't know how true that is. I read somewhere else where, unfortunately, the domestic violence numbers are up because people are cooped up with folks that they were able to actually get away from prior to this. And the frustrations are mounting. But regardless of all that, the wise thing to do would be to let that smoke clear. If you want to be a part of that first wave of people that's so ready to rush back out into the world, rush back out into society, then you have to know that you're putting yourself and a lot of other people at risk. Regardless of what the EIFs say, and for those who are new to my channel or who haven't seen some of my other videos, the EIFs are the everything is fake people. the people who say that no matter what happens, it's all fake. Well, this is not fake, man. I mean, you entitled to believe whatever you want to believe, but um, when this first jumped off, the narrative was it's fake, it's not real, it's a scare tactic, and to a degree, it could be a scare tactic because we know on the back end the the goal is to try to get everybody to take that vaccine. So there can be an element of truth in terms of the scare tactic because they want to instill that fear in people enough to where they won't have a problem um, voluntarily accepting that vaccine. But the reality of the virus itself is actually a true reality. And it's weird how you can believe in the uh, wickedness of a particular system, but you don't believe in the fact that the same people who run this system can scientifically create a biological weapon. That's kind of contradictory to me. But you're entitled to believe what you want to believe. I bet these same EIFs ain't running around here dapping and hugging people. I bet they ain't. Bet they stand clear. I don't care what you say. But I digress. The point I'm making is that it wouldn't be wise to jump out into that first wave because if these numbers spike back up, then a second wave could potentially be worse than the first. So don't be like Dan Patrick, who is the lieutenant governor of the state of Texas, who took it upon himself to say that uh, elderly people should just voluntarily lay down their lives for the sake of other people. Senior citizens should just go ahead and die on off. I got the quote. He said, there are more important things than living, and that's saving this country for my grandchildren, for my children and my grandchildren, and saving this country for all of us. How'd you like somebody to tell you your grandmother to go ahead on and die? You lived your life. You had a good one. And the funny part about it, he's a senior citizen. Wonder if he's willing to be the first one to go on the chopping block. I doubt it. He's not talking about himself. He's talking about your elderly family members. This is the arrogance of this nation, the arrogance of the people who run this country. So we dealing with something, we dealing with spiritual wickedness in high places, as the scripture says. And the fear that this economy is going to totally collapse, which it is, opening up the country prematurely is not going to save it. So for those of you, whether you're an EIF, what is it? Whether you're an EIF or not, I would advise you to be wise and stay in even when they say, come on out. And that's it. That's all I wanted to just put a little of that in your mind, man. Don't be so, we all tired of being cooped up, you know. Don't be so gung-ho to get back out there, man. I ain't touched a basketball in 2 months. But if you want to potentially be able to touch a basketball in the future, or to be able to go to a park in the future, or to be able to do this or do that in the future, then you would be wise to sacrifice that time right now. Give that time up right now. So tell me what y'all think about that. And like, comment, subscribe. Keep your notification bell on. And order my book. I'll put the link in the description. Peace.